The price gap between a new electric car and a comparable gas car just hit its lowest point on record. A few years ago, that gap was over $15,000. Today, on certain models, it is essentially gone, which means for the first time, buying an electric car does not automatically mean your wallet needs a recovery plan afterward. For the first time, buying electric does not automatically mean spending more than gas, and that changes the conversation entirely. So what actually caused this shift? Battery packs used to be the wallet-busting secret behind every expensive electric car sticker. But something big just happened. Battery pack prices finally dropped below the legendary $100 per kilowatt hour mark, according to Bloomberg NF's latest survey. For years, experts called this the magic number, sort of like the 4-minute mile, but for chemistry and accountants. Now, in 2026, most mainstream EVs are running on packs that cost about $95 per kilowatt hour, down from $139 per kilowatt hour just 3 years ago. What does that mean for your next car? For a typical mid-size EV, that drop shaves about $6,000 to $8,000 off the cost of building each vehicle compared to just a few years back. That is not just a rounding error. That is the difference between a maybe someday car and something you can actually afford to park in your driveway. Automakers are not keeping all those savings either. Thanks to cheaper batteries, they are finally able to price EVs close to their gas-powered cousins, sometimes with only a few $1,000s difference or less after incentives. It is the kind of price cut you do not need a spreadsheet to appreciate. And for once, the main barrier is not a gadget or a government rebate. It is just good old-fashioned manufacturing getting smarter and cheaper. If you ever wondered why EVs suddenly stopped feeling like a luxury splurge now, the battery bill finally came down to earth. Automakers did not just lower prices and call it a day. They went full throttle into the $35,000 to $45,000 battleground. 6 of the biggest names, GM, Ford, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and Tesla, unleashed new electric vehicle platforms right into this sweet spot, all aiming to catch the eye of buyers who used to walk straight past the electric aisle. Suddenly, you could cross-shop a Chevrolet Equinox EV against its gasoline twin and not feel like you needed a second mortgage. Ford started slashing Mustang Mach-E prices by $2,000 or $3,000 a pop. Hyundai and Kia threw the Ioniq 6 and EV6 into the mix, both repositioned under $41,000 after their latest redesigns. Volkswagen's ID4 and Tesla's Model 3 also circled this price band, each trying to outdo the other with rebates, referral credits, or zero-down lease deals. With so many brands elbowing for space in the same price range, the market got crowded, and not just on paper. Dealers watched their lots fill up with electric vehicles from every direction, while each automaker tried to out-discount the next. In the end, it was not just about who could build the best electric vehicle, but who could drop the price tag fast enough to keep cars moving off the lot. It is the kind of competition that turns a tech trend into a price war. And for buyers, that is finally a battle worth watching. Walk onto a dealership lot in 2026, and it is starting to look more like a game of musical chairs, except the music stopped, and the electric vehicles are still sitting there. According to Kelley Blue Book, the average electric car now spends more than 90 days waiting for a buyer, while gas models typically roll out in under half that time. That is not just a statistic, it is a neon sign blinking, "Make me an offer." Dealers are not known for turning down a sale, especially when last month's shipment is still hogging the front row. Overproduction, optimistic forecasts, and a rush to meet federal incentive quotas have left showrooms with more electric SUVs and sedans than they know what to do with. The result? Discounts and incentives have become the norm, not the exception. Some sales managers have even admitted they are matching or beating the price of the gasoline version just to move inventory off the lot. If you are shopping for an electric vehicle right now, you are walking into a buyer's market. Negotiation is not just possible, it is practically expected. When the average lot age for electric vehicles hits 3 months and counting, you can bet your next coffee that the sticker price is just the starting point. Welcome to the era of the electric vehicle deal where patience and maybe a little haggling can finally pay off. Start shopping for an electric car in 2026 and you are not staring at a handful of futuristic oddballs anymore. The real action is in 5 models that keep popping up on every comparison list. The Chevrolet Equinox EV, Hyundai Ioniq 6, Tesla Model 3, Volkswagen ID4, and Ford Mustang Mach-E. Each one sits squarely in the $35,000 to $42,000 range, about what you would pay for a well-equipped mid-size gas SUV or sedan, but without the premium badge tax or the need to explain to your neighbor why your car looks like a spaceship. Let us break it down. The Equinox EV starts around $35,000, and if you qualify for the federal $7,500 tax credit, you might see a final bill that is downright competitive with the gas version. The Ioniq 6 is in the $39,000 range, also eligible for the credit, and known for its slippery aerodynamics. Think of it as the quiet overachiever of the bunch. Tesla Model 3 hovers at $40,000, and while it is no longer eligible for the federal tax credit, it still comes with the keys to the supercharger kingdom. That is handy if you are planning cross-country road trips or just like to humble brag about charging speeds. Volkswagen ID4 sits at $39,000 and often comes bundled with regional promos or zero-down leases. The Mustang Mach-E at $42,000 is the priciest of this group, but Ford dealers have been known to throw in hefty discounts just to keep inventory moving. If you are a homeowner with a garage, the Equinox or ID4 might be your ticket. Apartment dwellers juggling public charging might lean toward the Ioniq 6 thanks to its efficiency. Long-distance drivers, the Model 3 or Mach-E both offer strong range and in the Tesla case, the broadest fast-charging network. No matter who you are, these 5 have turned EV shopping from a niche scavenger hunt into a real-world choice. One where the sticker shock is finally aimed at the competition, not your wallet. Owning a car isn't just about the sticker price, it's about the bills that keep rolling in year after year. Gasoline might not be $5 a gallon anymore, but it still adds up fast. The average gas SUV owner shells out between $2,000 and $2,500 a year just to keep the tank full. Meanwhile, the electricity to charge an electric vehicle at home usually runs from $500 to $800 a year, depending on how much you drive and whether your utility company is feeling generous this month. Let's put that to the test with a real-world example. Emily Torres, a homeowner in Colorado, swapped her old gas Equinox for the new electric version in 2026. After 5 years, her electricity bill for charging totaled $3,200. If she had stuck with gas, she would have spent about $12,500 at the pump, almost 4 times as much. That's enough leftover cash for a summer road trip or a decade's worth of drive-through coffee. Maintenance tells the same story. Oil changes, spark plugs, and surprise exhaust repairs are a thing of the past. Most electric vehicle owners spend about $300 a year on routine service, such as tire rotations and the occasional cabin filter, while gas car drivers average closer to $800. Over 5 years, that is another $2,500 in your pocket. Add it all up, and the so-called electric vehicle premium starts to look more like a discount. For buyers who can plug in at home, the numbers are not just close, they are stacked in your favor. Of course, if your idea of charging is running an extension cord out your apartment window, the math gets trickier. But for millions of drivers, those running costs are now the real plot twist in the electric vehicle story. Charging at home is easy for those with a garage, but for renters, it's a different story. Only 34% of United States apartment buildings have any charging on site, leaving most renters searching for public plugs. In Chicago, Javier Morales spends extra time each week managing apps and waiting for a spot, since his building still hasn't installed chargers. On the road, long trips have improved, but planning is still required. A modern EV like the Mustang Mach-E adds about 1 to 2 hours of charging to a cross-country drive, which is manageable but still noticeable. For those considering a used EV, battery health is less of a gamble than many think. Data from more than 150,000 used vehicles shows that 96% of models under 5 years old keep at least 90% of their original battery capacity. While the price gap between gas and electric has narrowed, daily convenience still depends on access, trip habits, and whether your building supports plugging in. Here is the moment of truth. Is it finally time to buy an EV, or should you keep your gas car keys a little longer? Start with a quick gut check. Do you have a place to charge at home, like a garage or driveway? That is the golden ticket. Most of the 5-year savings only show up if you can plug in overnight, not if you are hunting for a public charger at midnight with a dying phone. Next, think about your commute and travel habits. If your longest trip is the occasional weekend getaway and your daily drive is under 50 miles, you are in the sweet spot. Apartment dwellers or folks with unpredictable road trips might still find gas a safer bet, at least until more chargers pop up. If you are leaning electric, now is the time to flex some negotiation muscle. Dealers are sitting on extra inventory, so do not be shy about asking for discounts, bonus incentives, or even a free home charger install. In 2026, the sticker price is just the starting line. For buyers who fit the profile, the math finally adds up. EVs are not just for early adopters anymore. They are for anyone ready to play hardball and plug in. Right now, a Chevy Equinox EV sticker price can match its gas twin, sometimes by less than the price of a fancy coffee machine. But the real question is not just, can you afford an electric vehicle? The bigger question is, does your lifestyle fit one? The market has changed. Your driveway decision just got more interesting. Thoughts below?